Hi, my name's Adriana in Long Beach, and I am a grown ass woman. And I'm here today to review some grown folks' music, specifically the Jack Harlow album Monica, which I greatly enjoyed, and I've seen other people doing their reaction videos, but all those people have been young people. So I think that this is music for grown folks, and as a grown folk, I wanted to do a review of it myself. Um, I don't typically do reaction videos. I don't typically do reviews, but I feel like Jack is getting a lot of unnecessary hate, and I want to give my review of this album and give my opinions on why I think he might have gone in this direction, in addition to it just being the way his muse uh, led him to go. So let's just start right now with trading places. Trade places. So I'm stopping even before his vocals start because what I want to tell you is that this band is in the pocket. And when I say band, I watched his interview on New York Times um, with those two music critics. It was a really good interview. And he said that there were four rules that he had for the making of this album. One was no electronic instruments except for drums. So everything that you hear is being played by an actual human musician. And I feel that that comes through in the musicality of the songs. I feel that the band is in the pocket. I feel that the playing of the instruments is tight, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the smoothness. And his voice, he's not a great singer. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not a great singer. His voice is lower in the mix, and it flows with the music that is being played. It is a Sunday afternoon. I'm here at the park as a grown ass woman. I can play this music and just chill. I can play this music and nobody's going to get offended. Why? Because another one of his rules was no cuss words. Another one of his rules was no braggadocio in the lyrics. So I'm really feeling this. I'm really feeling this band. I'm really feeling the music that he got real musicians. Robert Glasper's on this album to play on this album, and it shows, and I appreciate it. So I am going to go on to the very next song.
Gotta walk away, even though you're lonesome. Giving my love up, even though you want some. Wanna see you stay, I'll be the one you're moving on from. Giving my love up, even though you want some. Sleeping on your own, staying to yourself, working on your own projects.
So again, I really like the guitar playing, especially in this one. But the smoothness, and a lot of people are criticizing, oh, it all sounds like one song, all the songs sound the same. They all have a vibe, that's for sure. And it, to me, it's a vibe I can jam with on a Sunday afternoon. It's a vibe I can jam with in traffic, in my car when I want to decompress. It's a vibe I can jam with having dinner at home with my man. Instead of watching a movie, we put on music. Like, it's a grown folks vibe, and I'm digging it. And I dig again, I really like the musicality. And I like the theme of this song because I feel like, okay, he's only 28. One of the bad parts about recording in a park. And I feel like what he's saying is a grown folks conversation. You know what? I may be into you, you may be into me, but it's just not the right time right now, and we got to do our own thing. That's grown folks talk. I love it. So this one's called Prague.
me your direction. I think about wanting your affection. I think about you. Glad we got an ocean in between us, otherwise emotion will keep creeping up. Don't know how to cope when I think about you. Hey, maybe I should just stop holding on to this, cause the more that you resist and the more I miss you. Send a kiss every time I reminisce. Is it wrong if I wanna be wrong? Holding out hope, hoping it could exist one.
So I really like this song. I think on this song, the singing that he does do shines the best, because I like his. Everyone says I'm looking for the bars in rap. I think that his lyricism in these songs is actually really, really good, and I like this song how it starts out, and the theme of a lot of these songs is making sure the woman is comfortable in the situation, making sure the woman feels emotionally in control of the relationship. This is a Loverboy album, and that is perfectly okay with me. I feel this is what I'm going to say about it. The people who didn't see this coming, this type of music from Jack, weren't really paying attention, because I'm going to go back and play for you a little piece of a tune he dropped in 2004, which was very well received, but it was a rap song.
Other girls, fuck them. I'd rather touch myself to you than fuck them. Only confide in you, I can't trust them, because I'm fine with you. Over here lying with you, I wanna.
So, it starts out with cuss words, but my point is that's bossa nova, and I heard a lot of the young people doing reactions to it, and they didn't even know what to call the music. That's bossa nova. Bossa nova is the in the Western hemisphere the king of smooth music. Bossa nova is the epitome of smooth. So if people, I'm surprised that people are surprised, because he already dropped a musically smooth song. He did a bossa nova song. So my thing is, I feel like he did Hello Miss Johnson, and then kind of, if you want to go with his narrative, he was dating Miss Johnson's daughter. He kind of felt like he might have got a vibe from Miss Johnson herself. And then he decided he was going to make a whole album for Miss Johnson age women. I'm here for it, because that's me right there. That's me. And I think that there is a long history of male musicians getting flack for making music that leans into their female audience. A long history of making fun of boy bands, a long history of just making fun of, when I was young, this was years ago, I was in love with Simon Le Bon. I loved Duran Duran. Duran Duran and Spandau Ballet got so much haterism, and it was specifically because girls liked them. Girls loved those bands. And Jack has made an album, I think, for his female audience. He's made an album directed to women listeners, and I think that that's part of where the haterism comes from. I don't have to think it. I see in the comments. I didn't come here for no Loverboy album. I want Jack to do rap. Yeah, well, Jack wanted to make a Loverboy album, and I am here for it. So I'm going to go to the next song. This is personally my favorite.
it comes on the radio.
Okay, that song is just so smooth. I love the blending of his voice with his female backup singers. Beautiful. Um, I love the lyrics, and here's why I love the lyrics. The other reactors I've seen have been talking about, oh, maybe there are multiple Monicas. I don't actually think he's singing about women in this song. At first, because this song came after the song Prague, and because I learned in the interview with the New York Times music critics that he has recently moved to New York, I thought these were love songs to cities. Like you always love your hometown, whatever hometown it comes from in Tennessee, but then you also like super love New York. So I thought, oh, when he's in New York, he thinks about the things he loves about his hometown in Tennessee, and when he's in Tennessee, he thinks about the things he loves about his hometown about where he lives in New York. Like people lyricists using women to represent other things. There's a long history of that. I still now think that this is an allegorical song, but I now think it's about hip hop and smooth neo soul. I think he loves rap. That's what gave him a come up, but he also loves neo soul. And when he's doing neo soul, he thinks, oh, should I be doing hip hop? Or when he's doing hip hop, he thinks, oh, what I really want to do is neo soul. I think that's the tension in this song. I don't actually think it's about women at all. I'm gonna move along, just because it's an interstitial. It's beautiful, and it's got the best singing on the album because Jack's not doing the singing, but it's an interstitial. All right, this is the one that people seem to be vibing with the best. I think it's a great song. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's a good song.
All of my friends tell me I tend to come on way too strong, way too fast, I'm way too gone. All of my friends say I keep falling in love way too often, telling me slow down and be cautious.
I like that Spanish guitar a lot. Like I really, really, really like that. So again, it's not my favorite song, but I love that Spanish guitar. I love the song. I think it's great. And I especially love that Spanish guitar. All right, this is Living Alone.
Grown, living alone, and you feel so at home. So you say, you know what you want, apparently. So I hate to impose or disturb your comfort zone, but I can't postpone. I just wanna meet you. I don't wanna bring no problems, I just wanna greet you. So reach out when you feel like talking. I'm fine.
Again, I think this is a grown folks theme, and I love it. And also, I love the smoothness. I just love the beat, love the rhythm, and I also think he's singing about grown folk stuff. This is Against the Grain.
Looking at me, but you're still not listening. Acting like you don't feel nothing. Baby, I just wanna spend time with you while you're going against the grain. I don't know why you keep talking about the trouble I'll get you in. All the ways I'm gonna bring you pain. Baby, I just wanna spend time with you while you're going against the grain. All the looks that you and I get, there's no use in trying to hide it. Maybe I'm a bit too excited, rushing what we should be doing in private. Telling me the things you decided about yourself and that you align with. Don't you know how short human life is? Let's quit talking and utilize it. Just enough, climb on my side, help yourself.
So this to me is the most Lush song, and I love Lush music. So I really dig this. Again, a mature theme. This young woman, I'm assuming it's a young woman. Maybe he made a Mrs. Johnson album because he's really attracted to Mrs. Johnson age ladies. I have no idea. But knows what she wants, knows who she is. I like that empowerment in the lyrics, but I also like how lush the musicality is. I like lush songs. And then this is the last one. It's called Say Hello.
Maybe I'll get at you when my life gets slow. I'll be understanding if you change your name. And maybe you prefer to live a life you know. But one day I'll be walking by the place you stay. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, say hello. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, say.
So I'm going to tell you right now, there is no comparison between Jack Harlow and D'Angelo. D'Angelo's a musical genius, but this song reminds me the most of D'Angelo, and that's why I like it. Not the musical phrasing, not Jack's voice, but the way he does his phrasing and the way the backups come in and the flow of the song. So that I like the song a lot, and that's why, because it reminds me of D'Angelo. So I like this album, and I'm going to tell you, Jack seemed extremely sincere in his New York Times interview, which, let me just state, it was in that interview that he said, I got blacker. But if you go and listen to the actual interview, he was specifically talking about his music. The interviewer said a lot of white rappers will come in, get their come up on hip hop, and then switch up and start singing or start performing music in a genre that's more has a more affinity towards whites. But you didn't do that. You went into a genre that is even more associated. And Jack cut him off and said, I got blacker. He was talking about the music. I was not offended by that. He wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about his music genre. People want to grab a headline and hate off of it, whatever. He seemed really sincere about this album being about what he's feeling. And after doing Bossa Nova on Miss Johnson, I believe him. But I also think that there are really good business reasons to do this. So this music you heard me play, it's not from Spotify. I bought it. I purchased the album for $9.43, I think, an MP3 album from Amazon. And people 50 and up are the ones more likely to buy an album, either a vinyl or MP3 album, and download it to their hard drive or download it to their phone and play it when they want to, rather than to continually pay for a Spotify subscription. So I think it's smart to cater your music to a demographic where for every time where people are more likely to purchase the album rather than stream it, because the money that Jack Harlow gets when somebody buys the album is more than the money he gets if someone streams it 100 times. So there's that. The other thing is, I think Jack Harlow's trying to play the long game. I'm going to show you what I mean by I think that Jack Harlow may be playing the long game. Gemini, what year was Usher's hit starring Ludacris and Lil Jon?
That hit was Yeah, and it was released in 2004. The song was the lead single from Usher's album Confessions.
Okay, so you heard that? So now I'm going to ask, Gemini, what is the last top 10 hit that Usher had? What year is his latest top 10 hit?
Usher's most recent appearance in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, the primary mainstream chart, was over a decade ago, but he has had #1 hits on the adult R&B charts as recently as 2025.
Okay, you heard that? As recently as 2025. All right, so then, Gemini, when was Ludacris's last top 10 hit?
Ludacris's last major top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 was Tonight I'm Fucking You, by Enrique Iglesias, which featured Ludacris and DJ Frank E. It peaked at number 4 in 2011.
2011 for Ludacris. Gemini, when was the rapper Little John, when was his last top 10 hit? So Little John's most recent top 10 hit on the Billboard Top 100, Hot 100, was Turned Down for What, which peaked at number 4 in 2014. So if Usher had a top 10 hit as recently as 2025, and Little John, it's been over 10 years since he's had a top 10 hit, and Ludacris had his last top 10 hit in 2010, that says to me that Loverboy crooners like Usher have a longer lifespan as performers who get top 10 hits than do hip-hop rappers. Ludacris was hot. Little John was hot when they had that hit with Usher. Yet, who has the most recent top 10 hit in 2025? Usher. So if I'm Jack Harlow and I'm thinking, if I really want to make a career out of this, what genre is going to keep me in the money, keep me having hits that are in the top 10 and make me some money for the longest? It is not hip hop and rap, especially at his caliber. He is a good rapper, but he's not one of the greats. So as a crooner, as a Loverboy crooner, he could keep making hits for a minute. And I'm just giving you one example. I could give you others. So there's that. The other thing is, have you guys, I know you have, you've heard the Verve Bittersweet Symphony being used as a backing for a rap album, for rap songs. All right, here's a sample.
Hey, hey, teach me how to play, baby, let's move. What? Can you teach me how to play? You know why? It's all the bitches love me. Hey.
Okay, so the Verve, that hit came out 20 years ago, and they're making money on it today because people are rapping over it. Jack Harlow just made a whole album, and in the comments on YouTube, you can see his fans going, "Oh, Jack, you should have rapped over this, or you should have had so-and-so rap over this, or you should have had this other one rap over this." Jack already knows that probably. And he's probably anticipating that people are going to take these smooth songs he made and rap over them. And every time they do that, he's going to get a piece of change. So he made a whole album of backing tracks for people. And he'll get more money that way. So as a business, as an artistic decision, I'm glad he's experimenting. I'm glad he's going where the muse takes him. I really am happy for him. As a business decision, this is wise. This is wise. But maybe you got to be a grown person to appreciate that. Thanks for listening.